All right, welcome everybody to the show. How's everybody doing out there today? Looks like we are good to go, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and proceed, shall we? Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. I know I am. So, welcome everybody to a very powerful show today. This time, I'm going to be giving you a very direct show with 5 incredible tips to fully bulletproof your lifelong relationship. All from yours truly. You heard that correctly. Bulletproof. Unbreakable. Even if you don't even have a partner yet and are still searching to find a perfect friend to begin with, if you keep everything I say in this show deep within your mind and heart, you will succeed. But if you forget anything from this show, most likely you will not succeed. So please pay close attention with great enthusiasm. All right, without further ado, the title of this show, of course, is How to Bulletproof Your Lifelong Relationship, or just relationship. You got to work for that lifelong title there. It's a soulmate relationship level. The best of the best, the maximum. All right, let's go ahead and move on to tip number 1 of the 5 tips. Give your life and soul to each other. This is extremely serious. In fact, all of these are serious. The point of no return, permanent devotion. If you are to succeed together as one, your life must revolve around each other as the only priority in your lives. Your love must be above everything else. Doesn't even matter what it is. No fear, no doubts. A real man with a real woman. Nothing less than the best. So choose your partner wisely, because true love is written in stone, not a pencil. That means total commitment, no retreat, and no surrender. So, if you're thinking about a lifelong commitment, it's all or nothing. There is no 2 steps backwards. There is no, oh, you know what? Now, if it turns abusive, then it's over. Wasn't what you thought it was going to be. But other than that, everything is possible. And you have to be 100% committed. There's none of this 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Not giving it your all. It'll never work out with anybody if you have that type of mindset and that lack of full commitment. And even if you've been burnt before in a failed relationship, the next person in line doesn't deserve your failures, that baggage that you bring with you. Give every person that you meet a clean slate, a chance for them to prove themselves to you. And because they're going to give you a chance to prove yourself to them. It works both ways constantly. So this is tip number 1. In fact, that's exactly why I don't promote marriage. Because you can fall in love with each other for the rest of your life without marriage. Putting a ring on it doesn't guarantee it to succeed. The relationship could still fail just because you went through a ceremony and dished out some vows. It doesn't work that way. Actions speak louder than words. So, you better be mighty sure about the person that you're ready to dedicate your life and soul to. Because if you're not ready to dedicate your life and soul to someone, you will never succeed in a relationship, and you might as well don't try it with anybody. Don't try to embark on the journey of love. I want you to, but if you're not ready, if you don't think you have what it takes, then you're not ready. So make sure you're ready. Let's go ahead and move on to tip number 2, shall we? All right. Be your partner's sexual fantasy. Yes, this is extremely important. Watch all the pornography you want. Don't demonize it. It's just a tool. It's a learning, educational tool. Together as a couple, if you want, both of you must fulfill each other's deepest sexual desires, whatever they are. And this will ensure sexual compatibility, by the way. Because if you're incompatible, it's over. If you're not willing to be adventurous. So this will ensure that both of you are sexually satisfied to the max. No apprehension. Be adventurous in the bedroom. Or wherever it takes place. In the car. In the kitchen. On top of a washer or dryer. Find out precisely what you enjoy the most. Both of you. Master the art of making love. It's not just sex. Making love. And you'll never have to worry about your partner ever betraying your trust, i.e. cheating on you one day. You have to be 20 women in one, 20 men in one. Everything that you both desire. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. I didn't stutter, utter, or mutter. That's what perfection and mastery are all about. Because anything less than the best is unacceptable. And yes, you can achieve it. Many people out there are going to have a negative mindset, a loser's mentality, and say that perfection doesn't exist. Stay away from those people. They're everywhere. You don't need garbage in your life. You need somebody who's ambitious, enthusiastic, passionate. Because it has to last an entire lifetime and beyond. Whatever's after this life. Eternal love without time. That's how serious your relationship should be. Otherwise, it's going to fail. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. 10 years, 20 years down the road. Or maybe you just live miserable forever. You don't want that. There are couples that have been together 30, 40 years. Time does not dictate the power of love that a couple has. It doesn't. It's the feeling that you have. So, 30, 40 years later in life, are you going to feel just as strongly in love as you are now? That's the secret. Okay, so you won't have to worry about that if you perfect the art of making love. All right, so tip number 3, never allow something to devalue your relationship. Okay? If you have an argument, end it as quickly as possible in a respectful, productive manner. It doesn't matter who was right or who was wrong. It doesn't matter. What matters is preserving your love now and forever. Make it obligatory to annihilate anything that can harm your relationship. If you and your partner's responsibility, it's you and your partner's responsibility to prevent damaging arguments from even happening. And only talk about solutions when encountering any problem. It doesn't matter what it is. You guys are a team. If you master the art of teamwork, everything has a solution. Think about it. The word problem or issue has a resolution. The problem has a solution. You must learn how to speak positively at all times. The more negative you speak, the more negative you become. That's called manifestation. That mental negative energy is going to affect you physically and emotionally. Get rid of it. There's no excuses. And both of you have to do that. You ever seen an Olympic team move together as one in perfect synchronicity, like they're all a bunch of mirrors? You guys can do that. And it's so easy because it's just one of you to mimic and to move as one. Everything has to be on the same level. There can't be, well, she's not so good at this and I'm good at that. You guys have to learn how to better yourselves in each and every single way. So nothing can devalue your relationship. I don't care if it's the opinion of others, your family's opinions about you guys. Whatever you two believe in is what goes. That's what stays. Everything else goes out the door, out the window. Any negative situation must be squashed. And if you guys find yourself arguing, one of you or both of you have to stop and say, what are we doing? This is senseless. This is pointless. This is damaging our love for each other. If that sounds Disney to you, you're not going to make it. But if you say, oh, you know what? He has a point. You're going to make it. It's not about agreeing with me. It's because this is the only way that love is going to succeed for the rest of your lives. to say no to this. It's solutions and resolutions 24/7. No matter what they are, no matter where they come from. It doesn't matter where the problems come from. It's always solutions and resolutions. Positive and moving forward. Always. Never negative and moving backwards. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to tip number 4, shall we? Cherish every moment. No matter what happens in life, every situation has a way out. Even if it's a way that's more difficult than expected, no matter what happens, cherish every single moment you have together. It's easier said than done. You guys really have to practice this. It sounds easy. You really have to stop and smell the roses because the roses are there. You might be so passive, you might not even notice it. Every single moment, be grateful. Be thankful for even the smallest chance you get to kiss each other goodbye, to embrace each other tightly when seeing each other again. Always make time to have fun, for life is all about the good times. If you focus on the bad times, guess what? It's just like thinking negatively and supporting negative emotions and justifying them. You have to literally rid yourself of these negative emotions, these negative moments. That's what I mean by cherish every single moment. Even in times of negative, just bad times. Even in those times, you have to learn how to see the good. Okay, well, we ran into a bad situation. We have the solution, but until we implement that solution, you're feeling kind of bad, right? Fix it. Take your mind off of it if you can. Unless it's an emergency that requires immediate attention and it's time sensitive, I get it. But the point is to take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit, which are your emotions, that energy in motion from within, right there where your heart is. That's where it emulates from, or emanates from. So take very good care of yourself. That's your mental, emotional, and physical health right there. All these negative moments, they're going to add up if you allow it to. They're going to affect you. That's where people get all their wrinkles from, aside from other things. But it's all negative. That's where they get organ damaging situations with their physical health and their mental health, even PTSD, an actual disorder. It all comes from negative moments. So get rid of them, prevent them. And that's what I'm saying. Teamwork comes before that, right? You have to master the art of teamwork. No holds barred, no excuses. And learn to be grateful, because so many people out there are so ungrateful, and then they wonder why they fail in their relationship. And then they teach the kids that. The kids learn how to grow up and be ungrateful too, because they have ungrateful parents. They don't know what it's like to be grateful. All right. So moving on to tip number 5. The last tip that I have to give you. Never doubt yourself. Never doubt your partner. Make each other's dreams come true. Now that sounds cliche, but let me explain. Your partner's happiness is your happiness. Everything in, even if everyone around you fails with their relationships, never give up on each other. Because you guys are all that matters. I don't even matter right now. If you're in a relationship, you guys need to focus on yourselves. You can use me for my help, my advice, and implement it in your life, but that's your life. It's not my life. So take it or leave it. But what matters is, even if everyone is failing around you, if the world is falling all around you, never give up on each other. Make what others say is impossible possible. Prove it to yourself, prove it to each other. Have a winner's mind and a winner's heart. Think about it. So it's not just all positive, negative. It's a mindset. And it's total control over your mind, body, and emotions. But both of you have to do it. We're talking about succeeding. We're talking about succeeding as a couple here. It's easy to live alone. It's easy to live in misery all alone. You know, you have a routine and you just smash that repeat button. Like a chimpanzee playing with drums. Anybody can do that. Even a chimpanzee. If you really want to make your life special and your relationship special, guess what you have to do? You have to make it special, right? So why would you accept anything less than the best? Total commitment, right? All right. So your success as a couple depends entirely on believing in perfection, believing in achieving a soulmate's relationship. That's the maximum level that you could possibly achieve, because you'll feel it not just with your mind and heart, but with your soul, your body as well. But that's the deepest connection you could possibly achieve. If you don't believe it exists, then you'll never achieve it. Anybody can say it doesn't exist because they never felt it before. You'll never experience it. You'll never know it if you don't believe in it. Let's go ahead and go over them one more time really quickly. Give your life and soul to each other. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, be your partner's sexual fantasy. Tip number 3, never allow something to devalue your relationship. Tip number 4, cherish every moment. And finally, tip number 5, make fantasy your reality. And I really mean that last one, because whatever you believe, you can achieve. So, for much, much more, read my book and watch my 1-hour video course. And I'll go ahead and check the chat, see if there's any sign of intelligent life out there before I go ahead and move on. All right. Looks like, yes, looks like we're good to go. All right. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend, and thank you so much for tuning in, either now or post-stream. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, and maybe there's another show tomorrow. Who knows? All right. Much love, everybody.